In 1901, Greek sponge divers discovered a shipwreck off the coast of a tiny island called Antikythera. Among the statues, pottery, and ancient treasures, they found a corroded lump of bronze, and one that nobody paid much attention to. It sat in a museum storage room for decades, dismissed as debris. But when researchers finally examined it closely, they realized they were looking at something that should not exist. Inside that corroded mass was a machine so sophisticated, so impossibly advanced, that nothing even remotely comparable will be built again for another 1,500 years. This is the Antikythera Mechanism, and it's proof that everything we thought we knew about ancient technology is wrong. Picture this. It's approximately 80 BCE, and you're standing in ancient Greece. You're watching a craftsman demonstrate a device no bigger than a shoebox, made of bronze gears and dials. He turns a crank on the side, and before your eyes, the mechanism begins to calculate. Not simple arithmetic. This machine is predicting the positions of the sun, the moon, and the 5 known planets. It's telling you when the next lunar eclipse will occur. It's calculating the timing of the Olympic Games. It's tracking a 19-year calendar cycle with precision that wouldn't be matched until the invention of mechanical clocks in medieval Europe, over 1,000 years in the future. This sounds like science fiction, but it's not. The Antikythera Mechanism is real, and we have it. Or at least, we have what's left of it. 82 corroded fragments that represent maybe a third of the original device. And even in its shattered, incomplete state, it has fundamentally changed our understanding of what the ancient world was capable of. When the mechanism was first pulled from the sea, nobody understood what it was. The fragments were encrusted with limestone and marine growth, fused together by 2,000 years underwater. X-rays taken in the 1950s revealed something shocking. Gears. Lots of them. At least 30 interlocking bronze gears of varying sizes, some with tiny triangular teeth, arranged in a complex mechanical system. But the technology to properly study the device didn't exist yet. For decades, it remained a curiosity, an anomaly that didn't fit into any historical framework. Then in 2006, everything changed. Researchers used cutting-edge imaging technology, including three-dimensional X-ray scanning and polynomial texture mapping, to peer inside the fragments without damaging them. What they found was breathtaking. The mechanism contained at least 37 gear wheels, possibly more that were lost. There were inscriptions covering nearly every surface, over 3,000 characters of ancient Greek text serving as an instruction manual. There were dial systems on the front and back, spiral calendars, and indicator hands showing complex astronomical calculations. But here's what makes it truly extraordinary: the level of mathematical and astronomical knowledge required to build this device. The mechanism didn't just track simple planetary movements. It compensated for the elliptical orbit of the moon using a pin-and-slot device that varied the speed of the moon's motion across the sky, matching the lunar anomaly described by the astronomer Hipparchus. Think about that. Someone 2,000 years ago not only understood that the moon's orbit was irregular, but engineered a mechanical solution to model that irregularity using nothing but bronze gears and human ingenuity. The front dial displayed the Greek zodiac and the Egyptian calendar, because yes, this machine could convert between different calendar systems. The upper back dial was a 19-year calendar tracking the metonic cycle, which reconciles lunar months with solar years. The lower back dial predicted eclipses using the Saros cycle, a complex period of approximately 18 years, after which eclipses repeat in similar patterns. The mechanism could predict not just that an eclipse would occur, but what time of day it would happen and whether it would be solar or lunar. There's even evidence that it tracked the 4-year cycle of the ancient Olympic Games and other pan-Hellenic athletic competitions. This wasn't just an astronomical calculator. This was a cultural encyclopedia of ancient Greek timekeeping, astronomy, and society, all encoded in a portable bronze machine. So who built it? That's one of the great mysteries. The craftsmanship suggests a workshop, probably in Rhodes or Corinth, sometime between 150 and 100 BCE. Some researchers believe it might be connected to the school of the philosopher Posidonius, who was known for creating mechanical models of planetary motion. Ancient writings mention devices like this. The Roman philosopher Cicero wrote about a mechanism built by Archimedes that showed the motions of the sun, moon, and planets. For centuries, Historians thought he was exaggerating or describing something purely theoretical. Now we know he wasn't. But here's the disturbing part. We have exactly one of these devices. One, in all of recorded history, in all the archaeological sites we've excavated across the entire Mediterranean world, we found precisely one Antikythera mechanism. Either these were extremely rare even in ancient times, or we've lost evidence of an entire tradition of advanced mechanical engineering that we never knew existed. Think about the implications. If the Greeks could build computers in bronze, what else could they do? How much knowledge was lost when the Library of Alexandria burned? How many workshops were destroyed in wars and invasions? How many clever inventors and engineers left no trace because their work was done in materials that corroded away over millennia? The Antikythera mechanism survived only because it sank in a shipwreck, sealed in an anaerobic environment that preserved the bronze. How many others are scattered across the Mediterranean seabed or melted down centuries ago for their valuable metal? The mechanism represents a ghost civilization, a shadow of capabilities that the ancient world possessed, but that vanished so completely that for 2,000 years we had no idea they ever existed. Medieval Europe had nothing comparable. The Islamic Golden Age produced brilliant astronomy, but nothing mechanically equivalent. When clockmakers in 14th century Europe finally created astronomical clocks with gear systems, they were reinventing technology that the Greeks had mastered and then lost 1,300 years earlier. This raises uncomfortable questions about progress. We like to think of history as a steady upward climb, each generation building on the last, knowledge accumulating over time. The Antikythera mechanism proves that's not how it works. Civilizations can achieve remarkable heights and then collapse, taking their knowledge with them. Technologies can be invented, perfected, and then completely forgotten. We're not necessarily smarter than our ancestors. We just have the luxury of their accumulated failures and successes. When those records survive, the mechanism also challenges our assumptions about ancient people. We tend to imagine them as less sophisticated, less capable than modern humans. But the person who designed the Antikythera mechanism was a genius operating at the absolute cutting edge of human knowledge. They understood differential gearing, epicyclic motion, and complex astronomical cycles. They could conceptualize a three-dimensional mechanical system and translate that into precisely crafted bronze components. They thought like an engineer, like a programmer, translating abstract mathematical concepts into physical computing. Recent research has revealed even more secrets. In 2021, scientists proposed a complete reconstruction of the front face based on new analysis of the gear ratios. They discovered that the mechanism likely displayed all 5 planets known to the ancient Greeks: Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn, each on its own ring showing its position in the zodiac. The mathematics required for this is staggering. The ancient Greek astronomer would have needed to calculate the precise gear ratios to match each planet's orbital period, and they got it right with incredible accuracy. There's even speculation that the device might have been used for astrology as much as astronomy. The ancient Greeks didn't draw hard lines between these disciplines the way we do. Predicting the positions of planets and the timing of eclipses had profound religious and political implications. This wasn't just a scientific instrument. This was a tool of power, giving its owner the ability to predict celestial events that others interpreted as messages from the gods. Imagine being a priest or politician in ancient Greece with one of these devices. You could announce an upcoming eclipse weeks in advance, seemingly reading the will of the heavens. You could time important decisions and announcements to coincide with favorable planetary alignments. You would appear to possess divine knowledge, when really you just had the ancient world's equivalent of a supercomputer. The shipwreck that preserved the mechanism was probably carrying luxury goods from the eastern Mediterranean to Rome. The ship was loaded with bronze statues, glassware, jewelry, and apparently at least one incredibly sophisticated scientific instrument. Who was it being delivered to? A wealthy Roman patron? A Greek scholar? We'll never know. The ship went down in a storm, and the mechanism lay in darkness for 2,000 years. Today, reconstructions of the Antikythera mechanism sit in museums around the world. Working models built from the corroded fragments and modern engineering analysis. When you turn the crank and watch the gears mesh, watch the dials rotate and the indicators move, you're witnessing ancient Greek engineering at its finest. You're seeing proof that human ingenuity and curiosity aren't modern inventions. 2,000 years ago, someone looked at the sky and didn't just wonder about the patterns they saw. They built a machine to predict them. The Antikythera Mechanism stands as a monument to lost knowledge, a reminder that history isn't a simple story of primitive past and advanced present. It's a complex web of achievements and catastrophes, inventions and forgettings, genius appearing in unexpected places and vanishing just as mysteriously. Somewhere in the ancient world, workshops created technological marvels we can barely reconstruct with all our modern knowledge. And we have to wonder, what else did they build that we haven't found yet? What other impossible devices are waiting at the bottom of the sea or buried under centuries of dirt, ready to rewrite history one more time?